within the university. So interest rates can be anywhere from 3% to 9%. Given our new government, they have grown. But you want to look at the unsubsidized amount. What people often do, and this is for y'all too, what people often do is they see the amount before they see the interest rate, and they take it. Because all you got to do is click, right? It's accept. And then you're like, and then the money shows up, and it's all falling. And then you wind up at H&M $800 later, and you don't realize that $800 that you just spent from unsubsidized loan has now gotten a 6% rate on it. Which, if you just do some quick math, which y'all know I don't do math. What is 10% of $800? $80, right? So if your interest rate was 10% on your loans, you just paid $880 for your H&M clothes. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're taking what you need, not what you want.
Yeah.
Does that?
Yeah, college been paid for me the whole time because I'm on financial aid. I don't pay tuition, none of that. And I take out all my loans because me personally, I don't plan on ever paying them back.
They will spend money to your bank account, the IRS.
But I'm getting loan forgiveness, and also I'm going into education, so I will be teaching. So yeah.
Come on, brother. Know the loophole. Know the loophole for the coin.
And here's one thing that most college students don't do: use your loans and your grants to make you more money. No matter what it's doing, make you more money by using it.
Just to go off of that, you guys are in the perfect time and space to apply for scholarships. There are scholarships out there that people are not touching. Millions of dollars of scholarships. I am not playing. I got so much scholarships. Like almost every application, I use my what's that letter that you
Letter of recommendation.
No, not that. The statement.
Yeah.
I use that on my scholarship. I got $15,000 worth of scholarships sent to my account, not to the school, to my account. And I have my whole entire education right now is being paid for. I don't have to pay a dime. And that's because I'm getting the Chafee grant because I'm a former foster youth. I'm getting Pell grant, and I'm getting Cal Grant Aid, which is like $12,000. And plus, I used to work in the music industry where they were trying to pay me to become a producer. Like they were chauffeuring me around my 11th and 12th grade year. I turned them down. They still ended up giving me a sponsorship for Galaxy, iPhone. I don't have to pay a bill. I mean, there's programs out there that will pay it for you because they're looking for people like you. They see you as an asset. You as an asset. So use that. Other people are gonna talk about you, make fun of your skin color. There's people looking for people like you. They want to give the money.
They want to give you money
in your hand. I promise you. I get at least like.
Can I ask a follow-up question to that?
Sure.
So you said you used your personal statement. How much time would you say after you wrote your personal statement did you spend applying for scholarships?
Clicks.
Click. Have changed the name. Change a little bit. Prompt is, use your story. Use your story and make something of yourself right now. Like, do not play in your high school years, especially when you're a senior. Like, still be on your stuff. But if you guys are juniors right now, man, make that your year where you're expending yourself till you can't sleep. I mean, like, the money is out there, you guys. Like, I told you guys I was
It's not like y'all haven't heard that before, right?
Yeah, I was a college year.
What's grade?
So freshman,
Oh my God, okay.
Oh my God, okay.
Sophomores, raise your hand.
Okay,
Juniors, that's a perfect time.
Yeah, you guys are in your
Juniors
right
is a
now.
perfect time.
When I say
One senior, you still good.
Two seniors.
You still got time.
Three.
So you guys are like receiving some old information right now because other students are not aware of this, and I was aware that other students weren't aware when I became a college ambassador. Everybody's like, damn, college is gonna be expensive. I gave them literally a sheet of paper that showed them like if you're in this tax bracket, if your parents are making this much money, your college is gonna be paid for. So many people was like, what? I'm gonna be getting money paid to me? I had the whole damn senior class apply to college. 95% of them got into community college or 4 years. So go out there, look online. Avoid the sketchy ones. There are some sketchy little scholarships, but make sure if you need help, I will personally help you. If you send me your scholarship and I'll say this is legit. your essay, I'll help you out because that money is out there. I'm
I
telling you,
got
that's, if you guys apply to at least 5 scholarships, you might get 3. That's how like people don't apply to these scholarships.
$1 billion worth of scholarships goes unclaimed every year.
Yeah, apply.
And
I wish I would apply to more.
Okay, we're gonna move on, cause guess what? It's 11:06. You have a question, young man.
First question, my question was for me, but this is my other question. During y'all high school and college years, have y'all ever had people that like try to beat you down, where it took you to that point where you just wanted to give up, and the point of that point, like that's it?
I beat myself down. So
That's good.
it wasn't about other people, it was about me. I wouldn't go to school, or I come to my first 2 periods, then you won't see me for the rest of the day. And I did a lot of robberies in high school, so me, it was just personal, I beat myself down. Yeah.
How did you overcome it?
Oh, I overcame it through, when I started noticing the habits and everything I was doing to get me to my lowest point, when I was in jail, I had to think like, I gotta change something, or I'm gonna end up in a worse situation. Luckily, the time I was supposed to get wasn't that severe. And when I got out, I started changing my routines of like where I hung out. Like I wouldn't go out at night unless I had other intentions in mind. I started working also because it kept me from thinking I want to get money other ways. In addition to that, I was about to be a father as well, so that made me really had to change. So, and I started reading more. I started reading some self-help books.
That part right there.
Yes, that was the most important thing. I started reading. So when I started reading, I started seeing different things. Like I love self-help books, like motivation books and all that stuff. And I came up with a purpose. Like once you get a purpose that won't kick you in the ass, excuse my language, then you could really start pushing towards something that you just can't be stopped. Because it's like, people gonna always try to beat you down and all that stuff, but resilience is the most unmeasured thing that, people take for granted. Like when you're resilient and could, go through anything, it's just, you don't worry about the outside stuff. It's like being confident in who you are, like that's the most important part. Like when you really convicted and confident in your foundation and everything you are as a person, that's just the best thing in life.
For me, it's the same thing. I beat myself down. I also deal with like mental health issues and whatnot. So it's more so surrounding myself with people that I know that's not going to constantly beat me down when I'm already beating myself down. If I'm around people that's like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, I might end up like, okay, I'm gonna do it anyways. But it's like I don't need to be around you. I need to be around people that's already doing it. And it's like having that extra, that extra push, because I already set myself at a really high bar. So if I don't hit that bar, I hit myself at a very low level. So surrounding yourself with the right amount of people. So.
Just going off what both of them said, like I really think at the end of the day, like you're your own, own biggest enemy, basically. Like the mind is really powerful, and like going off what he said, like if you surround yourself in a negative environment with negative energy, you might not think that's carrying with you, but like at the end of the day, when you're by yourself, it's probably in your mind, even if you don't realize it. And just kind of fighting against that, because like personally, I just became like goal oriented. This whole time has just been like the art of passing by, basically. But with like this, now that I've just started to become goal oriented, I realized I've been really hard on myself. Like if it's not exactly how I want it to be, exactly how I planned it to be, then I kind of like, oh, then I'm just not gonna do it, or like hard on myself. And my friends kind of catch me on it, because I'm blessed with a really strong support system that I've built around myself and connected with. And they'll just be like, stop being so hard on yourself. And I recognize that, and it's finding the balance between not giving up on your goals, but not always beating down on yourself when it doesn't land exactly how you had expected in your mind for it to land, because it's never going to work out that way. You have a picture, but it's not going to be exactly like that, but it's still going to be good. It's still going to turn out all right.
Mel, can you ask your 2 questions?
Wait,
Sure.
can I
Go
just
ahead.
say this one thing? Be content in your struggle because trials and tribulations are inevitable. You feel me? So like, be content in that, and just know that if you're interested in it, go for it. That's your interest. Be secure in your interest and confident that you're gonna make it.
Yeah, you don't gotta prove nothing to nobody.
You have nothing to prove to
You have
nobody
nothing
but
to prove to
yourself.
nobody. Prove it to yourself, honestly.
And you're not in nobody's
Cause
race.
that's how you
Nothing is
get caught
linear.
up.
That's it.
Nothing
Take
says
it
it's
out.
wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so far, you guys. When transitioning from high school to college, academically, what kind of classes helped you get accepted to college? And did you guys have good grades? Like, what was your GPAs?
Oh, yeah, I graduated with like a 2.4. So, yeah, and I mean, college wasn't for me. So, it was more so setting a goal where it was like, I didn't get good grades in high school, let me get good grades in college. And that kind of helped me get me to the point that I'm in today of like going to office hours, going to the library, not hanging out with my friends instead of spending 4 hours just sitting there all day looking at somebody else's face. I went to the library and looked at the computer face. And even though sometimes I'll just look at it like, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but then eventually you start, forming some type of habit, and then it just, propel you up to get better in higher education.
So I gotta, you said office hours no less than 15 times, and I love it.
Yeah. I mean, especially your first two to 3 years, because it just opens you up, and then it kind of gives you the chance to like articulate yourself in a way of like, okay, I don't feel like I'm doing good in class, and your professor be like, you're doing good. You need to, tweak it a little bit, and that it's just that small encouragement that helps you just want to do better in class. And I'm all about forming relationships. So if I don't know you, I'm not gonna care to do nothing for you. But when I have that relationship with you, I'm gonna be like, okay, I need to be on top of my game. You expect something out
So
of
what
me
you're
just
saying
as much.
is high school students should talk to their teachers?
Yes.
Yeah. I wish I did that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, it helps you
I
articulate
just wanted to
yourself.
make sure that that's.
What offer hours really mean is that when it come time to grading, you done met your teacher, you build a relationship, they'll change your grade for you.
Yes.
Honestly, I
And you on a different
I am a
Yes, it
professor. I have taught college classes, and don't come to me at the last minute
No.
asking me.
You gotta be
Do that.
proactive.
Yeah, if I don't know your name,
Oh,
the
yeah.
grade is what you earn.
Also, if you didn't put that work in, don't expect your teacher to just, like, even if you did meet with them and built that relationship, but you still were lazy with your work, don't expect them to be like, oh, just
Right.
because I know this person,
Right.
I'm gonna give them that
Be
grade.
respectful.
You gotta
Right.
be really proactive. So if you know, like for me, I had a lot of things going on at home, like I mentioned earlier. So I knew like there was like a few days beforehand, I'm like, I gotta focus on getting money to pay for this and that or whatever. That I would tell my teacher, I would go to her in person or him or her and be like, I don't think I'll be able to get the paper done like on the due date. Can I get like an extra day extension? But here's my outline, like I am working on it. And then they're like, I see that effort and I see you're trying, and I know, a lot of things are out of your control that you're dealing with at home. So yes, I will grant you that. And I think that's
And making good on that.
making good on that.
Do what
Don't
you
do it
say you
every
gonna do.
single time too. Don't be like every single time I need an extension or I need this, that, always making excuses for yourself, because eventually they're gonna be like, you're gonna keep, like she said, trials and tribulations are inevitable. So how are you gonna persevere through that?
One thing that I was told when I was a young professional was, at the end of the day, nobody cares about your excuses. They care about what you can perform.
That's exactly
What
what I
are
was gonna. That's like literally what I was about to say.
I think Trinity and then, yeah.
Well, the question was,
What grades you graduated with, and what
And
class?
academically, what classes helped you get into college?
okay, for GPA, I know there's weighted, unweighted. My weighted GPA was 4.2, unweighted 3.9. In terms of the classes that helped, I would say my AP class teachers were bad. So we had there's an AP book that will tell you about everything that's gonna be on the test. Read that book, because I took AP Psych. Everybody in my class failed the AP test except for me, and that was because I had that book, and I was like, I feel like we didn't learn what we're supposed to be learning in this class. I read that book, it was like crash exam, prepare for the exam. It was this big. It wasn't that big. I just read through it right before the test, and everything that was in that book was on the test. Everything we learned in class was not on the test at all. So people were putting their head down, some people were crying during the test. So I would say read those books. They're all at Barnes and Noble, and some of them are on Amazon.
BRC donates those books every year at Cal High School students, so I can build that obviously. And if y'all need those books, we can
It pays to have relationships. It pays to network and to talk to people outside of your circle.
If not, I will get you those books because I got so much scholarship money from those AP tests. Through Chegg. So we get like pen to paper, our textbooks, but I'm graduating, so I don't need it anymore, so.
I was hella academically involved. I was an athlete as well. I graduated with a 4.2 unrated GPA. I took around 4 AP classes. My grades range from like 4 and 5. I've never went below 4 or 5 on the AP test. That's just me. Like I really didn't know about GPA until like 11th grade. I didn't know what my GPA is. I just knew that I was best student in the class and I was hella competitive. And I just liked the fact that I was good at what I was doing. And so that's what allowed me. And then the classes that helped me prepare were my AP English class because he was also a grader for AP. So he knew exactly what to do and prepare us for the exam. And I was like the only student in his class to get an A, which is rare because he doesn't give A's. Like you really have to earn it. And he didn't like athletes either. I was like the only athlete that he liked because he didn't like the fact that he thought that athletes were like wasting school time because I would leave during my Spanish class. And then I didn't do well in Spanish. I got like I got a B at it.
Do they also?
So AP classes also, last I checked, they can still qualify to get you removed from classes in college, right?
Yeah,
so if you score
I
4.
came in with 12 units. That's a full semester.
I came in with 8. Wait, do they all attend the same high school?
There's 2 different high schools here in Livermore High and Granada High. We're at Granada High now.
Do they both have offer AP classes? If your school offer AP classes and you want to get into a college competitively, you are gonna have to take those classes, unfortunately. Like you're gonna have to take them because schools, what they do, they look at what classes your school offers and they base it off of that. So if your school doesn't offer AP classes, then they won't take that, they won't count that against you. But if your school does offer AP classes and you never took AP or honor classes, they will count that against you. But also, it's like if you want to get credit, take AP classes. But also, there's some sort of like grant where you can take community college courses, and it's fully funded for high school students. So also take advantage of that.
Graduate early.
She has a question, right?
And then again, I wanted Jordan, you had a question?
Yeah.
Go for it.
How many AP classes or honors classes would you recommend taking in order to get into like UC Berkeley?
I took every semester from, every semester I made sure to take all honors and AP classes.
Yeah, all of my classes were honors. I took at least 2 APs.
I would take more. I would take 3 AP classes in a semester. I wouldn't do that, but you can definitely take 2 in a semester. And if you take 3 in a semester, you're gonna be burnt out.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just take the maximum 2 AP classes, minimum 1.
But don't overstretch yourself to the point where you're not gonna do well. Like,
I love it. Yes, and then we're gonna ask 2 more questions because again, I promised y'all an end time and we could go all day. For those of y'all who have time to kind of hang out with us for a little bit and have students come up and ask questions personally, I would love that. So I'm gonna have you respond, have 1 more question asked, and then I'll close up.
Okay,
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Also gauge what kind of APs, because some are APs, but they're not really that hard to be honest. So you can take like over like 2 if some of them are easier than others. And also you don't have to take the class to take the AP test. Like in high school, I took 8 classes, but I took 10 tests because like 2 of them I studied on my own. And yeah, just like find which ones interest you because like some schools don't, like my school didn't have AP English Lang, but the majority of students who took it at my school got 4s or 5s because it was like that easy. And yeah, if you already like one, like my school had micro, so I took that one, but I also taught myself macro econ because they basically like were the same thing, just like on a broader scale. And you can like teach yourself and still get college credit even if you never took the class.
And there's waivers if you decide to take the AP test without taking the course. There's waivers for that test. You'll have to pay that.
Last questions from students or staff or administrators.
Yes, I've been doing. Some of you mentioned having mentors, and I think that's a really key part of being able to advance. For those of you who have mentors, can you speak on how you selected those mentors and how much they've helped you?
I had a mentor through the Women in Entertainment program. She's the VP of A&R Operations right now at UMG, Santa Monica, and their main base in New York. Basically, it's the music industry. Like, even though I decided to go a non-musical route, she supported me heavily in that because, you know, there's a lot of people like me in the music industry already as it is, and she was encouraging me to try to step out of that and try to establish a space for myself in the science field. So how that was selected was through a match specialist, because I was producing beats at the time. She wanted to give me a mentor that was in the music industry. Yeah, her advice was, like, she was a crazy lady as it is, just being an A&R, but she was full of wisdom, and like she was bold. So I kind of mirrored that. I was scared to take a lot of chances. I was scared to kind of pursue science because I was interested in it and I talked about it a lot, but I was like, they're not gonna like me in this field. And she was like, basically like, you got this, like pursue what you want to because you're a genius. Like she's just giving those affirmations are so important because we get backlash and we get, you know, all of these negative vibes, and that resonates with our mentality. So having someone to give you those micro and macro affirmations, that can make the difference in what you pursue. So I say mentors are, like, everyone should have a mentor. You guys should pursue somebody as a mentor, whether that's a peer or one of your superiors. It's important, it's essential, and it will make a difference.
And have more than one.
Yeah,
for different things.
So I'm gonna have one male answer and then I'm gonna.
If you hard-headed and very stubborn, get you a mentor that might put hands on you. I had one mentor, Dr. Wright. She actually slapped me upside the head one time because she knew I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. And it's like, if you know you need a mentor who go really challenge you and won't let you just skate through life and all that, then, you know, look for somebody who go get with you.
You know, listen, I'm keeping it real with y'all. Hard week for me, personally and professionally, mostly professionally. And I didn't know what, like, I just always pray before I come into a space like this and before we come into Saturday Academy. And I didn't even sleep like